Hello and welcome to I Can't Believe This Got Greenlit, a show where we discuss movies from our childhood, our nostalgia from watching them as kids, how they got made, and our experiences rewatching them as adults. I'm one of your hosts, Nick Warner, and joining me as always, Matthew Pelton.
Hello, Nicholas.
Dude,
good morning, Nicholas.
I made a horrible mistake.
Well, I knew that, but what specifically?
Well, okay, first of all, I can't hear myself at all. So
why are you still wearing
this might, I don't know. I think it's just for the look at this point. Also, I made it a point to get here early to ask our guest what his last name is and how to pronounce it.
Did you not do that?
I did not do that because we got too deep into conversation.
Here we go.
So joining us on the show today is a friend of the show, a friend of ours, a work friend, a school friend, a life friend, Angelo.
Gontier.
Gontier.
Yeah, it's French.
Okay,
it's hard. Yeah.
Hell yeah, I love it.
How would you pronounce it? Be honest.
I was okay. It was gonna be Gontier, but then I was like, okay, it could be Gontier, maybe.
I was gonna say Gontier.
Just okay.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
I got it down.
Yeah. But yeah. So if the audio quality of this is trash, it's because I can't hear anything.
You sound good on my end.
Okay,
you sound
okay.
beautiful.
Sound good.
Yeah. Nice.
Someone messed with the microphone or the headphones. Okay. So today we got to jump right into it because today we're talking about a movie that Angelo picked, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about
We're talking
this
about
one.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, a movie from 2005.
Yes.
It's the Tim Burton Johnny Depp version, which
The nightmare version.
freaks me out. Yeah. So Angelo, talk to me. Why this movie? Why did you pick this movie? What childhood stories do you have surrounding this thing?
Yeah, I watched this movie like all the time when I was a kid. Like all the I don't know. Like watching it now, I'm like, wow, I can't believe I watch this all the time. But it was just like my
I think
go-to.
you shouldn't admit that.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't have like one individual story.
Okay.
You know, I was trying to think. I remember just like I had this portable DVD player. I don't know if you guys had one of those.
Dude.
Of course I did.
Okay, yeah.
The reason the show started.
Yeah, okay, right. yeah. I remember like in the car, like at like Red Robin, I'd just be sitting there watching like
Incredible.
yeah, Charlie and Chocolate Factory. So yeah, just like
So
I would,
DVD.
Yeah,
You had the
DVD. Oh yeah, I had the DVD.
Okay.
I brought it around all like everywhere with me.
This was like your
Crazy.
go-to choice.
Yeah,
You went
this.
out.
Yeah, this and like maybe the Cat in the Hat, which are two.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
no.
live action
The
one?
live action one.
Bye guys.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, and like Speed Racer. Those are like my top three.
This
Like
is very
What is going on?
yeah, I had weird picks when I was little.
Dude, I just woke up.
awesome.
I can't start my morning with Cat in the Hat, Speed Racer. This is too much.
This is incredible. Okay, you know what? I'm ditching the headphones. This is so.
Yo, he's going rogue.
This is so
You
strange.
pissed him off. What you did.
God damn. This is so uncomfortable. I know. This is so weird. Okay. That's insane. That is
Yeah,
a
I know.
wild thing. Yeah, Pelton, any childhood stories surrounding this movie?
Kind of.
Okay.
Okay, I know I've seen this.
Okay.
Probably multiple times as well.
Yeah.
But again, I don't have like a specific memory.
Okay.
And I didn't remember anything from this movie until like I put it on
Yeah.
pretty much a couple hours ago. And I was watching and I was like, oh, I remember a lot of this. Like, and we'll get into specifics when we get into plot and stuff.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I knew this more than I thought I did. So clearly this had a big staple at some point,
Yeah.
but I don't have like a specific memory of seeing it in theaters or anything.
Yeah. I have trauma surrounding this movie. No, not actually, but I've seen this plenty of times, similar to Angela. I've seen this a really good number of times. I don't know if it was on DVD or what or where. I don't remember the circumstances of. Yeah, exactly. I don't remember the exact circumstances of where I saw this or when. But I know I saw it a lot of times, and I just vividly remember, specifically putting it on this time around. I remembered being so traumatized by the kids being peeled off one by one and not knowing, like, at least when I was a kid, it's very clear when you're an adult that, like, okay, yeah, these kids are like alive and they're gonna, get better or whatever. But as a kid, I thought they all died, and I was like, "This is really dark."
Well, they kind of imply that until like one final thing at the end.
Right,
For a while,
right.
it's like, yeah, they fully died.
Also, the image at the end when you find out, like, is not.
It's horrifying.
It's terrible,
Yeah.
especially the kid that's like all stretched out, it's like full CGI.
I will say, there's one, and I'll save
it's
it.
horrible.
But there's one specific. Let's just call it a death. There's one specific death that did traumatize me as a kid.
Okay.
And I buried it until you made me bring back my trauma. It's your fault.
Yeah, I think I have one too. I wonder if it's the same one. We'll talk about it
Okay,
later.
wait.
Yeah.
All of them for me. Every single one.
one.
Dude, every time it happened, I was like, this is not going to end well in my future. And it didn't. I think about it to this day. And then every time because it kind of goes like, once you really get into like the factory, and we'll get to that, it kind of just is like, all right, let's take them all
Yeah,
one
it's
by
ne-
one,
it's like
sing
next
an
scene is
insane
death.
song,
Right. Yeah,
and we'll get to
It's
that.
every scene.
But yeah, it's crazy. Also, Pelton, you finished this movie, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I actually watched the movie this time.
Last week
I was very proud of
was
myself.
a crazy episode because Pelton did not finish the movie. It was awesome.
I couldn't. Did you ever watch Space Chimps?
I actually haven't. The guy we're talking about it, I haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
No
not,
one has.
Not many people
Yeah.
have, except for me. This is
Not
like,
even
here's
me.
the thing. The way I described that is like, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, this is kind of like the Kermit Swamp Years, where like no one has seen it. Except Jonah was actually into it. So I
Yeah,
didn't
he
have like
actually
another
liked the
person that
movie.
was like,
That's
no,
true.
Space Chimps is good. I was just kind of like, all right, I'm on my own here. And it made sense. It wasn't a good movie.
No, sorry, Nick.
Okay, so going right into production. I hate to move things along super quickly, but there's a lot surrounding this movie, as
Okay.
you could imagine. With Tim Burton, remember we talked on the Nightmare episode about how Burton and Henry Selick had issues?
Oh, yeah,
Where
that's
Burton
true.
would like destroy entire editing bays, and
Yeah.
like he was just a nightmare.
He
to
seems
work
very
with.
difficult to work with.
Yeah. So this movie is directed by Tim Burton.
Right.
Yes.
Um,
And it just shows.
Nightmare.
Right away, I'm like Tim Burton.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
for
the
sure.
most Tim Burton aesthetic
Yeah.
movie of all
Yeah.
time.
Even the credits, I'm like, all right.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
insane. Nightmare, he had the story by credit, but it was kind of like his like idea. So
Yeah,
kinda
he didn't
went all
direct
in
it,
on
right? That was like
Right.
the big thing.
Yeah, it was Henry Selick. So this movie was written not by Tim Burton,
Oh.
but by a guy named John August, who also wrote Corpse Bride, Frankenweenie, Big Fish, which is all Tim Burton
So
stuff.
they work together.
Right, but weirdly enough, he also wrote the 2019 Aladdin, which like when you
Okay.
realize that, excuse me, that this is basically just like a rewrite or like just taking words in a book and just directly putting them into screenplay
Just
format.
translating
It makes sense for the Aladdin one because then you're just like, oh yeah, the movie exists, and they changed almost nothing about that movie.
Oh, is that? I've never seen it.
Yeah.
To be fair,
The
but-
2019, they just added like another 30 minutes of plot, which is essentially
Right.
what this
This.
movie does.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, the Bucket family. Okay, let's add the toothpaste factory, and that's it. And then we go from there.
that was a very essential plot.
Yeah,
Detail,
right.
Nick.
The,
Come
the,
on.
the dad needs a job that he has to
Yes.
get fired from to
The movie would be
to make
very
the movie go.
different.
Right. So cinematography for this movie was done by a guy named Philippe. I'm so bad with names. This is horrible.
Here we go.
Rosalot. I don't know.
But
But
whatever the actual answer is, I would have said that.
right,
Right,
sure,
right,
put that out
of
there.
course,
Like my last name. Like,
Exactly. I just know these
Gontier,
things.
yeah. Dope last name, by the way. But this person also did the cinematography for the Fantastic Beasts movies, which when you look at it,
okay.
kind of makes
All
sense.
right.
Yeah.
All right.
Music. Danny
Danny
Elfman.
Elfman.
Yeah, didn't know that until coming
Always.
into this movie.
Yeah, I think
and
it's always the two of them.
It
Right.
makes sense. Yeah,
it does make sense.
And also, is Danny Elfman quietly creeping up on a Five Timers Club?
oh, we have to check in on that.
I think this is his third movie because he did. He helped out with Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
He did.
Yeah,
Then
Nightmare,
Nightmare.
famously. Yeah, he helped out with Shark Boy and
Isn't that
Lava Girl.
wild?
Crazy.
I know.
We've talked about this plenty of times on the show, but the team that did the music for Shark Boy and Lava Girl is ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's a guy, his name's John Debney. He did the score for 80 for Brady. And he also did
Famously.
the score for like
Right.
5. Yeah,
Yeah.
famously. But he did like the score for 5. He's in our 5 Timers Club. He's in the Greenlit Hall of Fame.
Our first
but
one,
yeah,
right? He was the first one to make
Wow.
it.
But he's done so many like really famous movies that you just would never think. Like this is the
crazy.
guy who did the score for all that.
Yeah.
But it's like him, Robert Rodriguez, the director, Danny Elfman, and there's like 2 others that are like, how is this the team that score for
It's
this
just like
movie?
the score of our childhood was this one man.
Yeah.
It's insane. So music by Danny Elfman, and you can clearly
Not
tell right
surprised.
from the
Yeah,
beginning,
right,
you're
right.
like, this is Mr. Elfman.
Mr. Elf.
Yeah. Also, I
Yeah.
went into his Wikipedia, just like going through, like, okay, how many movies has he actually done for like our show?
Sure.
I read a lot of things that I was really sad to read about him that I didn't know that he's like a really piece of work. Like he's not a good dude.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah.
I
I've
didn't
seen
know that
recently,
about
too. Yeah, it's like
That's
really
so
not
sad.
unfortunate. Yeah.
He's an entire IMDb or not IMDb, Wikipedia's like page dedicated to like sexual harassment, like sexual assault. Like it's like really bad.
Yeah.
So it's like he got canceled stuff.
Yeah, basically.
Not just like he's difficult to
No,
work with.
he's
No, yeah.
he's like a real. Yeah,
That's
it's not good.
awful.
Yeah, that's
So
Okay, so the score sucked for this
Yeah, it was
movie.
really
Yeah,
bad.
the score's awful.
It actually rocks.
No, we can't.
No. Yeah. So this movie had a $150 million budget.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah, but it makes sense because this movie grossed $476 million.
Oh, so that was not that
Almost
bad.
$500 million for
Yeah.
this movie, which
Okay.
adds
Movie
up
made
when
bank.
you think about it, but also like this is really sad that this many people had to watch this movie.
I guess that's a good point.
Okay, so going into like the main things. This movie is famously based on the what's his name? Roald Dahl.
Roald
It's
Dahl,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
guy
yes.
that made the book. So here's where we get into the kind of big thing. So we talked in the past about Dr. Seuss and his widow and how she was kind of controlling about everything.
Yes.
Not much different with this movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that's good news.
So Roald Dahl died in 1990.
Okay.
But he like famously disapproved of the original adaptation of his book, the one with Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
Really?
Which I didn't know until
Great.
doing research.
Everyone likes that one more.
Yeah,
right?
I love it.
That's like
It's-
the well-known one, but
Right.
he hates
Crazy.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I heard
don't-
about
I also
that.
don't know why. It makes no sense.
Oh, you couldn't find a reason. He just famously did
He was
not
just
like it.
Nah, it sucks.
Oh, interesting.
Please.
Okay.
Interview done.
Right. So
Interview
dies.
time. All right,
he doesn't like the
that's
movie.
our time.
This is for like 20 years. He's like, that movie stinks. Dies in 1990.
Okay.
1 year later, like literally no time passes.
They didn't wait at all.
Yeah, Warner Brothers starts making pitches to his widow. He's like, nah, he's dead. Let's go. let's do it.
So the Widows has to approve it.
Yeah,
So it's literally just like Dr. Seuss.
exactly.
Okay, at least they can't just do like anything.
And
Right.
yeah, right.
You know what I mean? I feel like Warner Brothers, the second he dies, if they could,
Yeah.
there'd be 8 of these.
Right.
Yeah.
Before he was dead, they'd start working on it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But remember what year this movie comes out? 2005.
2005. Yeah, it took a
1991
while.
is when
Yeah.
they start pitching.
Okay.
For the next 7 years, they're negotiating to like get the rights to the movie, but the widow
She keeps saying no.
is like, no, absolutely not. Like very, very protective over everything.
Good for her.
So yeah, the estate is resistant, to give up the IP, and they want to maintain full creative control, which is why it's stuck in development hell for so long, which
got it.
actually makes sense when you think about it. But his widow and his daughter agree if they get final creative say on literally everything.
Wow.
Final creative say,
Everything?
everything. Actor, director, like final cut of the movie, every single creative choice in the entire thing, they'll give it to them.
That's bold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also no way they're getting that.
No.
This-
Well,
that's-
yeah, it's insane. So the initial people they pitched for director, Ang Lee
Okay.
and Spike Jonze, among a couple others. Which is,
Really?
a wild choice. That was the first 2 directors they wanted.
Okay.
And the first actor they wanted, Nicolas Cage.
yes, absolutely.
Wonka.
That's
Wow.
that should have happened.
And he was approached, and he was interested for a while, but because it was stuck in development hell, he
Yeah.
dropped due to loss of interest.
He just gave up.
He just
He was like-
stopped caring.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he was like, I'm gonna move on to other things. I don't want to be Wonka anymore. But he was in for a little bit.
Wow.
That would have been so much
That
fun.
would have been
Why?
crazy.
Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? And also, no, we'll circle back. We'll circle back.
Okay. And yeah, so over the course of the years, loads of directors, writers, actors, all the different pairs of
Just constantly in
Yeah.
rotation.
Right.
pre-production officially began in May of 2003, which is when
So
they finally
damn.
hired Tim Burton.
Took that long.
Yeah, they finally got everything
So
cleared.
the family at this point still has the rights. They're alive, and they
Yeah.
approved Tim Burton.
Tim Burton, yes.
Interesting.
Okay. And eventually John August, who's the writer, was brought on to write in December of that same year. So in the same year, they got Burton and August
Okay.
locked in.
The
Okay.
Those are the
dream
guys.
team. Yeah,
Yeah.
the usual crew.
Right. And August admits, this is the guy that adapted Aladdin into a new movie.
Yes.
Right. So he admits that he went through the source material and just highlighted things that would, make the estate happy. Like, I'm going to keep this and keep it doll-esque is what he, called
Okay.
it.
Sure.
But he admits in many interviews that it took him 3.5 weeks to write
Oh, that's
this
it.
whole movie.
Wow.
That explains so
which
much.
kind of makes sense.
But they approved it.
They proved it.
Wow.
That's on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's on them.
But he talks a lot about how him and Burton kind of went through and were like, okay, what can we add? Let's add the dad working at a toothpaste factory. Let's add, and it was like very minor things, but they were just like, let's do it. It took him 3.5 weeks to come up with every choice.
it?
That is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
my
insane.
god.
And then okay, this is the thing that I thought was interesting. All the people that were pitched for the role or pitched themselves for the role. Now, mind you, this is coming from Wikipedia, so some of this could be kind of fabricated, but just some of the ideas of these characters as Willy Wonka blew my mind. I'm going to
Okay.
give you a lot, so
Okay.
just bear with me.
Okay.
Bill Murray.
As Willy Wonka?
Christopher Walken. Steve Martin.
That would have been fantastic.
That would- yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Steve Martin.
Okay.
Robin Williams, which was the only one that I could genuinely
totally
picture.
I could see that,
Yeah,
yeah.
especially following Gene
Yeah.
Wilder.
Yeah,
that
I
could
could
work,
see that.
yeah.
Jim Carrey. Nick Cage, obviously.
Well, also I feel like Jim Carrey's a big one
Yeah.
for what ended up happening. You know
Well,
what I mean?
right,
Which-
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
we'll get into that later, but
Yeah. Michael Keaton.
Oh, Tim Burton.
The next one.
Right.
Robert De Niro.
No way.
He pitched himself?
I think so. Well, no. This is people who were pitched the role that the estate wanted, or they pitched themselves.
Right.
It could be either
Yeah,
or.
it could be either. Brad Pitt, Mike Myers, Cat in the Hat.
Cat in the Hat. Yeah.
Also, Cat in the Hat is like 2 years before this movie, so that'd be crazy if you went.
Oh, that
Cat in the Hat,
existed.
Willy Wonka. Like,
That would have been awesome.
Yeah, that'd
Also,
be-
wasn't it already a thing where on Cat in the Hat he had someone that personally fed him chocolates on set?
I'm pretty sure.
Just saying.
Wow.
Just
It's meant
saying.
to
he was
be.
he was a nightmare on that movie.
He was,
I don't. Yeah.
No, he's getting into character for Willy Wonka.
He
Getting into mindset.
Yeah, he was.
He just loved chocolate so he turned into Augustus Gloop. He just got fat. I'll get into that guy in a bit. This guy's crazy. And the last two that I found were Liam Neeson.
Oh, I would have been
Wow.
so weirdly
Agent
intense.
Wonka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Adam Sandler.
That's a wild list.
Yeah.
It's an insane.
That's insane. The only two I could see are Jim Carrey and Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like those two could
Not
be
De
very
Niro.
good.
Not Robert De Niro. Come on, man. Okay, and then although Warner Brothers and the Doll Estate wanted all of these guys, these are kind of everyone they were shopping
at
around.
once.
Burton was the one who basically was like, I want Johnny Depp.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, okay, this is one of those things where I found on Wikipedia where I was like, there is no way this is true.
Uh-oh.
Tim Burton, his first pick was Johnny Depp, and they were like, if there are scheduling issues or he's not interested, his second pick is Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
What?
That can't.
I was like, there's
What?
In
literally no way.
2005.
I was like, there's no way.
There's no way that's true.
That's crazy.
It's coming fresh off the WWE.
There's no-
like,
no.
Scorpion
King.
No shot.
I'm going BS on that for sure.
I thought it was so funny. Like, just
That must have been a joke or something, right? Because I.
Yeah, he
yeah.
must have been kidding.
Yeah,
There's
the way
no
it was like, yeah, there was no way. But I was just maybe.
I can see it.
Like we
Also,
don't.
okay.
Giant stretched out purple
Yeah,
jacket.
right.
Too roided up.
The hat that's too small for his head. But at this point, I think he had hair, so it might have looked a
Oh
little
yeah,
better.
that's true.
Him wearing those glasses would have been hilarious.
Oh yeah.
I want that picture. I think, yeah. I think for the cover for the Instagram this week, I'm gonna make a little edit with The Rock.
Can you
and those
please?
glasses.
And those
Yeah.
glasses?
I think I have to. Okay. So also, here's just a quick thing. Did you guys know that Brad Pitt has a production company called Plan B?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was. I knew about that
either.
production company, but I didn't know that was his.
Yeah, I
So
didn't
he
know that was him
started that
either.
a while ago.
Yeah.
They made 12 Years a Slave, Moonlight. Like they won a bunch of
Right,
Oscars.
a bunch
That's
of stuff.
crazy.
Yeah.
So Plan B is a co-financer on this film. So Brad Pitt is one of the. Oh, okay. Here's okay. Do you remember when we were watching the Bob Marley movie and it came up as Brad Pitt?
Yeah, One Love,
Yeah.
One Heart, One Destiny. Oh,
Yeah.
Plan B.
Yes, it was Plan
B.
B.
Oh,
I didn't
that's
put two
why.
and two together until doing research for this.
Yeah, because
movie.
we were watching the credits. All of a sudden, Brad Pitt. We're like, what?
Yeah.
Is he just a big Bob Marley fan? What is this?
Yeah.
It's his company. Okay,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense.
So they're co-financers, which I just thought was interesting because
Got
I
it.
didn't know about Plan B. I knew
Yeah.
Plan B as a company. I didn't
Yeah,
know
I didn't
it
know
was
it was
his.
him. That's kind of cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, pretty neat. Also, yeah, if you look at the list of movies that they have,
huge.
it's
It's crazy.
ridiculous.
It's
yeah,
crazy.
it's insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Internship. We love you, Brad
right?
Pitt.
Yeah.
Plan B.
Okay, and then the final thing I have for production: this film started principal photography in June of 2004,
Okay.
and shot almost fully practically in sound stages in Pinewood Studios in the UK, which is if you don't know Pinewood Studios, it's the one Hollywood
yeah.
production company.
Right.
But they use miniatures, force perspective, fully built sets, etc. It's a full Burton
Okay.
production.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
It's interesting. That's all I have for production. But
What
it's
a
a
ride.
crazy.
That is
yeah,
a
it's-
ride.
it's- again, I
I
feel like
read
it's
somewhere-
similar to Cat in the Hat, where it's just insane.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, what were we gonna say?
I read that Michael Jackson wanted to play him.
Okay.
Did you
Yes.
read that?
This was
Wow.
okay. Actually,
I believe that. I so believe.
scratch that. I have actually two more things. So one, it was the Michael Jackson thing where he pitched himself. He was like, I want to do it. And basically Warner Brothers was like, do not have this guy around kids. Yeah, they were like, we are not, this is not
We
happening.
can't be liable for this. Yeah.
Exactly.
No way.
And then the last thing, which I actually forgot to write down, is that if you notice in the movie, Johnny Depp's face is very desaturated.
yeah,
Right.
I was gonna talk
They
about that.
went in and digitally cut out his face and desaturated
Okay.
every single shot for the whole movie.
It
Just his
looks
face.
like a digital effect.
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah,
like he
it's-
CG done to his face. You can
Right.
tell.
It does. Yeah.
In some of them, it's
Yeah.
almost black and white, and you're like,
It's really
what?
weird.
Yeah. It's insane. Okay. You guys ready to crack open the plot of this movie?
I think so.
Let's do it.
I need all the hot takes.
Let's say I'm ready as I'll ever be.
I have
for
a hot take.
this.
Okay.
Also, okay, before we even get into this, Megamind is a masterpiece. Let's just say
I
it.
told you. I tried telling you this.
So for Angelo, the first episode of the season, Megamind. By the end, I was like, I didn't really love this movie, but as we progress in the season, I was like, okay, as we progress, as we watch bad movies, I'm gonna love this movie. Space Jam's this back to back. I'm convinced Megamind is a masterpiece.
I told you. I was like, Megamind's amazing. It's probably the best thing we watched this season. Just if we're being honest.
Yeah.
So all of that said, let's get into the plot. So we open immediately with the funky Elfman score.
Yeah.
And a pretty eerie shots. I forgot how Burton-esque this movie was until you really get into it.
Yeah.
Well, you can talk more about it in a sec, but it's insane because it's so dark and not Willy Wonka, and you're like, how is this a Willy Wonka movie?
Yeah, I will say, literally within the first 3 seconds, remember I said I forgot how much about this movie I remembered?
Yeah.
Even the music, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It all came flooding back.
Right.
But you're right, it's all this kind of these weird CG, weirdly slick.
Yeah,
motions.
I noticed that.
It looks a little too clean almost.
Yeah.
And then you have Willy Wonka's hand, but it's clearly not a real person.
No. Yeah.
It's almost like they got to the editing room and they were, we need some sort of intro. We didn't film anything.
Right.
And they're like,
and I just created
we can come
it.
up with this. Yeah.
Right.
In
can we get Johnny's
very,
hand? No, he's gone.
Yeah, he's moved on.
He's totally moved on.
7th Pirates movie. It's actually in court right now.
Should we get anyone's hand? No, we'll do it.
Yeah.
We got this.
Yeah. It's like the first iteration of Unreal Engine, and they were like, okay, let's try and recreate this in the digital space. And
Dwayne
they
Johnson's hand.
just ripped he comes in.
But it is a weird start.
It's a very
slick.
Yeah, it's kind of jarring.
Yeah.
It's dark. It's like the mass production of chocolate, which is not the Willy Wonka that everyone knows. They don't talk about that in the first movie. They don't do that in the second movie. It's all very widely mass produced, all by robots. It's very strange.
All the kind of whimsy
no
is not there.
Yeah.
It's very dark and creepy.
It's very strange.
Yeah. I'm not. It was very confusing because I'm like, if you're trying to make this chocolate seem kind of whimsical and wonderful and kids go crazy for this is not what that's showing me at all.
Yeah, right.
I'm freaked out by this.
I was scared. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Also, I'm officially retracting a statement I made in the 4th ever episode of the show, Kermit Swambeers. I made a very bold statement that said, every movie with opening credits is a good movie.
You did say that.
Every single movie that has ever been made with opening credits is good.
Yeah.
I immediately retracted that the
looking
second
back,
this movie starts.
That was really not wise at all.
Well, okay, up until that point, I was, in my head, I was utterly correct.
Episode 4.
Yes. Well, no, I'm saying...
I'm 30.
Listen, I'm saying in general, not just the movies we cover on the show, just in general.
Okay.
You have all the Scorsese movies, all the good movies that open with opening credits are great. This one is the one exception.
I don't know about. I think I challenged this when you first said it, episode 4.
You did, and then we thought about it.
By that.
I know, and that's valid. It was more of an offhanded joke of it's a fantastic film.
No,
right.
Nick famously never jokes.
No, I never.
Yeah.
I've never once.
No, you're a very serious man. Yeah. You think it's a comedy show? We're both very serious.
Very serious. Yeah.
But yes, so we see that Charlie Bucket, our main character, what a guy. Who also is the good doctor. I don't know if you guys know the good doctor.
I gotta be honest, I thought that was Nicholas Hoult for most of the movie.
Oh yeah, no,
and he's I watched Bates Motel. Have you ever seen that? It's the Psycho prequel show.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
And he plays Norman Bates.
Oh no way!
He does such a good job at
Oh, good for you.
He's so scary.
That's amazing. Okay, so we see that Charlie Bucket, our main character, lives in the same town where the Wonka factory is, and that his family is poor, and they also live in the most Burton house of all time.
It's all crooked and everything.
Yeah.
Dark.
House.
They have there's snow everywhere. It's all very industrial and Burton-y.
Now I already have a question.
Yeah, okay.
Because I thought about this the second it started.
Yeah.
Now, I also don't remember the Gene Wilder version a lot or the original book. So if that's in the book, then fair enough. But this town that Charlie lives in, very poor town, down in the dumps. Everything's kind of broken.
Sure.
Why is the chocolate factory there?
Well, if in this movie, it seems like the the town is like relatively okay.
Right.
It's just a standard like London town. It's just his house that's like really.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Because if you remember, like when he gets the golden ticket,
he's offered like
a bunch of money right off the bat.
Yeah,
True.
like
and
$500.
like all the other
That's
kids
true.
are kind of like, oh yeah, we're chilling. It's just like a normal.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Right. Yeah.
But no, I'm glad you have questions immediately.
This would happen more often. Yeah.
So Charlie's dad comes home and gives him a defective toothpaste cap from work because he works at a toothpaste
what he does.
factory.
Yeah.
And Charlie uses it to complete a model of the Wonka factory he's been working on.
Yeah, he's a big fan.
Yeah, huge fan. And then Grandpa Joe, also a massive fan because he used to work there.
Used to work there.
But yeah, he then tells him the story of how he worked for Wonka. That he was a genius chocolatier. And that people who ran other chocolate stores sent spies in to steal secret recipes. And that the robbery got so bad at the Wonka factory that Wonka closed his stores for good. Well, for good.
Yeah, quote unquote.
Yeah, and he fired all of his employees, including Grandpa Joe.
So heartbreaking.
Seems like it sent him into a wild depression.
I know.
This guy.
Also, so bold.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like McDonald's being like, Burger King keeps stealing our stuff, so we're permanently closing everything?
Yeah.
Well, yes, but Wonka's like one factory. But I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
I know what you're
it's
saying.
like that's
the mass
it's
like
all right,
losing trillions
that's
of
such an
dollars.
overreaction.
Yeah.
Firing everybody. Like, whoa.
Right. But yeah, so this all happens until recently when the Wonka factory suddenly has smoke coming from the chimney. And suddenly they're back in production, but no one works there seemingly.
Yeah, like we never see anybody coming in and out. So what's going on?
It's all the robots in the beginning, the CGI.
The bird robots.
Yeah. He's just good at AI. He just became like...
Yeah, honestly, probably.
He just invested in crypto, and he's just like, all right,
let's go crazy.
Okay, so the next day, it is announced. Also, they go right into the plot in this movie.
Right.
Like, they really just kind of jump
got
right
time
in.
to play around.
It's like
Yeah.
30 seconds in, and Grandpa Joe's like, hey, he's back. Let's do it.
I kind of liked it.
No, I was
like,
great.
let's go.
They spent no
Yeah.
time. Yeah, it was awesome. Until we get into the factory, and you're like, what is this?
Well, we'll get into that.
So the next day, it is announced that Wonka's allowing 5 children to visit the factory, with one winning a prize unimaginable to anyone.
Yes.
The only thing they have to do is find a golden ticket, which is in like the widely produced Wonka bars,
Right.
Around the world.
Around the world,
Anywhere.
and everywhere. And the second they started cutting to like people opening the wrappers, especially in like I think it was Tokyo was one of the first ones they do, and it's all the kids coming in. Everything flooded back.
Yeah, right.
That was the moment where I
Right,
was like,
yeah.
I remember this exact cinematography, like everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is great.
I had a weird moment where it all came flooding back a couple times at this point, and I was like, I'm kind of into this right now.
Yeah.
I was like, this is kind of good.
Yeah. So, Angelo, did you remember this whole thing like right from the beginning? You were just like,
Pretty
I'm
much,
back.
actually.
Yeah.
He was like lipping the lines with the actors.
Yeah, like everything. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh,
Like,
right,
when
the CGI hand.
yeah, like when like all those women run to like the dress and
Right.
like
Yeah.
that for me was like
I remember that too. That was a big one.
Yeah.
Burned into your
Burned in
brain.
my brain.
I've been thinking about that.
yeah.
You think about the girl like falling into the hole with all the squirrels. Just every night. Yeah. I do, but it's nightmare.
He just like
Yeah.
becomes Veruca Salt. I want chocolate, Daddy. He's like, I gotta stop. That's not me.
This is why you're chewing gum right now. You're like, dude, blueberry pie, man. By the end of the episode, you're fully blue.
I'm on roast beef, man. Right, it's so good right now.
Okay, so 4 winners are announced over the next few days or weeks, however long. We don't really know. Augustus Gloop.
Little, German boy.
Bear with me. I wrote this down last night and I thought it was so funny. Augustus Gloop, a fat fatty. Their words, not mine.
Okay, that is true.
Yeah,
I was like,
they
Nick,
call him a chunky boy.
Don't go with that. Yeah.
Who eats so much chocolate he probably should be dead. Like this guy,
he's gonna die real
should not
quick.
be alive.
Now, okay, I have a confession.
He lusts over this stuff. Okay, go ahead.
I have a very special connection to
Yeah.
Augustus Gloop.
Are you Augustus Gloop?
I was. I think like either before middle school, I took an acting course outside of like class. I was like, I want to be an actor. So I took an acting class.
Yeah.
And we did Willy Wonka as like a
Oh, no
play.
way. Yeah.
And I was considered very sad, but I was kind of like a bigger kid. And I also wasn't a good actor. So they're giving out the parts, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be Willie. I'm gonna be Charlie." And they're like, "You're Augustus Gloop."
They were like, "Here's 20 bars of chocolate. Start eating."
And then they're like, "Wear like a chocolate shirt." Not like, "Do you have one?" It was like, "Yeah, we know you got one, buddy. Just put it on." And I did. They weren't wrong. So there's a video somewhere out there of me as Augustus Gloop with like a Reese's peanut butter cup shirt, eating chocolate for days. And getting sucked into the river.
That's incredible.
That's
It's
awesome.
so embarrassing.
Dude. The year, so I've only famously, well, depending on who you ask, famously I've only ever done one production. I've only ever acted in one play. That was it. I was the lead character in 101 Dalmatians. Like I was Roger. Yeah, I was like the guy.
Way.
Yeah.
Oh.
All of my friends were like Dalmatians, and they
Bragging
were like
over there.
It was amazing.
I was some side character.
No.
One up my story.
Point is, well, actually, I cried in the car when I found out I got the role because I was like, I want to be a Dalmatian with my friend. Like I didn't want the role because I also had to dance with my arch nemesis. Like her and I like fought. I think she had a crush on me, but like we fought for like forever, and then she transferred the next year. Oh, please. She transferred the next year, and I'm convinced that it was because we danced, and she was like, "Oh, I can't do this."
She's in love.
Yeah. She was like, "Mom, Dad, get new jobs. We have to leave."
Work at a toothpaste factory. I gotta get out of here.
I gotta go. But point being, the year before that, we did Chocolate Chocolate
who were
Factory.
you? Do you remember?
I didn't do. No, I like I said, famously only ever one role.
Famously.
But that
One
was
and
why I
done.
did
But
it
you
because
asked,
I saw the production. All my friends were Oompa Loompas.
Oh, really?
And I was like, this rocks. And then I went in, got it, and retired.
And I was
like,
Augustus Gloop.
Yeah.
I also have an Augustus Gloop. My middle name is
Augustus Gloop?
It's Augustus Gloop.
But just like growing up, like my middle name is Augustus. So like I was like,
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Dude, you maybe have the coolest name of all time.
That is kind of a cool name. I'm not gonna lie. That is pretty sick.
Yeah, I always get that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't want to be this kid. No offense. I know you.
No, I didn't either. It sucks.
Dude, that's incredible.
So when he popped up in this movie, this like
you
this
were
little
like,
fat,
whoa.
fatty German boy, I'm like, oh, that's
You felt
me.
a
Thanks.
connection.
Yeah. I'm like, we are one and the same.
And they really play up that he is like a porker.
Yeah,
like, this
as they
dude,
did with
like,
me.
Goes in.
He always has chocolate on his face, like the entire time.
And he's always like, every time he speaks, he's like,
Yeah.
he's like going all in.
Which,
It's
by the
insane.
way, one last thing about Augustus
Yeah.
Gloop before we move on is for the scene with the chocolate river. It was a very low production play. You got to remember, it was really a stage. We had to make our own costumes and props. So for the river,
I can't wait for this.
I was just leaning over the stage into like the audience pretending to drink. And I had to fall in, but then he gets sucked up by a tube.
Right.
Jeez.
So while the actors are doing their thing and like Willy Wonka's like saying whatever, I'm just like doing the backwards worm, just slowly shimmying my way across the entire stage, trying to get behind the curtain. And I had my eyes closed, so I was trying to be dead. And I have a memory of knocking the curtain fully over and just destroying the whole scene because I'm trying to get away.
Dude, that is insane.
Dude, it was the worst.
That's incredible.
Now I want to be a director. I wonder why.
It's great. Dude, you should make a Willy Wonka movie.
Done.
Yo.
You know what? Main
fully-
character's Augustus
Yeah,
Gloop, and he's jacked.
Yeah.
It's just changing it.
And he gets the factory this
And
time.
they're all the rock. Like they're all
the rock.
Okay, so we have Veruca Salt, which is a spoiled brat whose father, the owner of a nut factory, chill.
I didn't say anything.
Tasks his employees to unwrap hundreds of thousands, which also like that's insane.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Hundreds of
Yeah.
thousands of Wonka bars until his daughter got what she wanted. So that's like kind of their story.
Very like a spoiled kid. Classic.
Spoiled
Yeah.
kid, yeah. Violet, it's Beauregard, right?
Beauregard?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Anyways, Violet.
Violet B.
Violet B.
Violet B.
A highly driven girl who chews gum and whose only goal is winning. She gets the third one. And then Mike TV, my boy. I love this guy as a kid. He was the only one where I was like, this guy rocks.
That's my boy. Of course, you liked Mike TV.
Yeah, he was awesome. But he's also I always thought he was just like a kind of like a burnout. Like he just played video games. He's kind of like a genius.
No, he's actually a really
He's very
smart kid. In like the nicest way possible. That's how I picture your brother as a kid.
Yeah.
It's Mike TV. This is just Zach Warder.
He's just smart, but he's just like video games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, am I wrong?
A little. We both didn't really play a lot of video games growing up. More so now than growing up.
Now it's Zach Warner.
Right.
Not as rude. Zach Warner's a very lovely guy.
He's a fantastic kid.
Like halfway during the movie, I realized his last name is TV.
Yeah, it's Mike TV.
Like when he's like Mr. TV, and I'm like,
Oh, right.
He was meant to like have a Comedy Central show in the early 2000s.
Oh, 1,000%.
Mike TV.
Mike TV.
Tune in Tuesdays at 8 p.m. for Mike TV.
And now he just like has like a podcast or something. What
Yeah,
happened to
yeah,
Mike
yeah.
TV?
But so he famously again, hates chocolate, and he figured out how to
Right.
win by just buying one Wonka bar.
Yes.
That was his thing. He gamed the system.
Yeah.
So Charlie gets his birthday present early, which is a Wonka bar.
Once
and
a year he gets a
ultimately,
Wonka bar.
once a year.
Right.
His family's poor. And ultimately doesn't get a golden ticket. And my heart just broke for this kid at this point because he opens it so tenderly and he doesn't get it. And he's
The
like,
whole family's
this is
there.
it. Yeah,
They're all
yeah,
excited.
yeah. The grandparents pressing feet. Like
Yeah.
they're just.
Pressing feet.
Someone said that years ago, and I thought it was so funny. Just Willy Wonka's grandparents pressing feet.
And also like in this movie, especially more than the other one for one giant reason.
Yeah.
But this is like just the perfect child.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
nothing's
Right,
wrong
no,
with this
he is,
kid
like,
at
the
all.
I mean,
best
he's gonna
kid
go
ever.
on to be the good doctor. I mean,
Right.
you
I mean,
gotta.
that's true. And
Right.
he's going to be a murderer.
And he'll be
but-
Norm
Well,
Bates.
right,
Wah, wah, wah. But
He turns at a certain point.
Yeah.
yeah,
Some lose some.
it's all a facade. It's all a front.
But to top it all off, I mean, these guys can't catch a break. The dad gets fired
Right.
because robots took his job. These industrial CGI robots.
Which is probably what's going to happen to us.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't say that, but yes.
It's like kind of relevant now. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
It's crazy
like,
that we can
dude.
put all of these episodes into AI and they can just make a make episode for us. I
Yeah,
don't want
we're
to think
totally
about that.
recording this.
Yeah.
We are people.
We're real. This isn't. Okay. So later that night, Grandpa Joe gives Charlie his last silver dollar. Like, is that?
I think so. It's a
I don't
little
know.
big
Some
silver
form
coin.
of
Yeah.
currency.
Personal,
He
yeah.
pulls it like out of a satchel and he's like, "Take it,
My
it's
secret
last."
and it's
stash.
huge. Like, that's a huge.
It was enormous. That's why I was like, "Is it a dollar? Like $1 million?" Like,
That,
what?
yeah, that was actually like
Really?
$200 right there.
Yeah.
Wonka bars are really
Go buy a
expensive,
bike.
guys.
Yeah.
Go buy us a new home.
Oh boy. He crumbles
This
it
is
up.
like 4 years of university. It's one coin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get chocolate.
Could you imagine he gets the bar and he's like, "What did you do? Like, are you kidding me?"
But so he goes to go get another Wonka bar and hopes Charlie would get the ticket. And yet again, they open it together. Everyone's sleeping. It's so peaceful,
Yeah.
but they fail.
Now
And I was
is,
like,
is that
I
how
didn't
the story
remember.
normally goes?
I can't remember.
I don't remember the original
Yeah, I don't
movie.
either.
Because well, that's the thing. I couldn't remember if it was this one or the first one or both, where he finds the dollar or like the $10 bill on the ground. And
Yeah.
he goes up and wins by like that.
Just by that.
Because that's what happens next. So the next day, yeah, Charlie was walking down the street and he hears that the last ticket was found in Russia. So he's like, "Dang,
It's over.
it's over.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
stinks." But he then immediately turns around and finds $10 on the floor. Again,
sure.
like European currency, so I don't, whatever.
Wow.
And he immediately goes to buy chocolate. Like, this dude,
Doesn't even hesitate.
yeah, he's kind
Right.
of a fiend a little bit.
Now,
He
also,
loves-
does that mean? Wait, that means that coin is 10. Because he
Well,
fully
okay,
gives
no,
the 10. He
but-
doesn't
okay,
get changed
well,
back.
That's the thing. Is I could have sworn the guy
He
gives
gets-
him
I
change.
thought he gets changed, right?
And then he
He
leaves
did.
it there. And that was my one issue with that scene. Is that
Oh,
this
there you
kid is
go.
like set up to be so poor. And he
Right.
gets the
He
ticket
leaves the
and
change.
he leaves the change and the chocolate. And I was like,
Oh,
Right.
yeah, he does
Yeah.
the
why?
chocolate.
These are the two things that your family
Right.
wants.
It's your
or
dinner
needs.
for the next 2
And they're
weeks.
eating like cabbage soup with cabbage.
Cabbage soup side of cabbage. Like, it's crazy. So yeah, so he buys the Wonka bar and he found the last ticket. And immediately people come up to him and are like, "I'll give you, whatever it is, like $100." And then someone's
Yeah,
like, $500.
And a
Yeah.
bike.
And a bike.
And a
Yeah,
bike.
like again.
Yeah. I was like, I'll give you my son.
5 bikes.
Yeah.
I'll give you my chocolate palace. You're like, what? Wait.
Willie?
Yeah, what's happening? But then the owner of the store is like, no. Take it home. Go. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
And so he gets home. And this is where I just started giggling because he shows his family and then Grandpa Joe
Yeah, it's his
gets up
yippee moment.
and he
It's
starts like doing the
beautiful.
jig and it's just like
Yeah. That,
he's loving life.
That was
It's
I
so
know
funny.
that is in the original.
Yeah,
I know
yeah, yeah,
that. I was
yeah.
like, oh, that's
Because I think
cool,
he
you know?
sings in the original.
Does?
It's more of a musical because they don't have the like come with
Well, yeah,
me.
that's
like they don't
true.
do any music.
I mean,
at
they
all.
they do some.
Well,
some
well,
characters
well.
do some music.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking like Willy Wonka and like all
Well,
the
yeah,
characters.
our main people.
'Cause I'm pretty sure Grandpa Joe like is like he like gets up and like does like a song and dance in the first one.
Oh, I don't remember. I just know he does a little jig.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it
There's a
also
flip.
it looks CGI like in this movie. Like it looks like he's on wires. Just
Yeah,
'cause
it
he's
looks
like
really
so
weird.
old
I
and he's
know.
like moving so
Like
fluidly.
rickety guy.
He's not doing that.
Yeah. But yes, then they eventually decide that Grandpa Joe is going to join Charlie at the factory, and they go the next day. They arrive at the gate, and go up to the front entrance where they watch an animatronic show singing about Wonka, and then it all engulfs in flames.
Terrifying. It was terrifying.
It was so scary.
This was the first moment. Yeah, this was the first moment where like the little bit of like, oh God, I remember how that made me feel as a kid. Like that started like flooding back.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is really like horrifying imagery.
I can't believe I watched this as a kid. It's so dark.
It's horrifying.
It's like the whole movie is dark.
Yeah.
Like these kids are like,
yeah.
It's in that scene. I was like, this is so. I can't. As a kid, I was like, yes. Like I was scared watching it last night.
Dude, I was scared.
I was too.
Same. Yeah. And I think the note comes up later, but I made a note of like, should Tim Burton movies just not, like, should they just be rated R, all of them, like not watchable by children? Because like all of them are
have like
really
these horrifying
genuinely
imagery.
scary.
Yeah,
Right.
that is
Yeah.
true.
Like it's insane.
I will say also up to this is like a critical turning point in the movie for me. Because I'll be honest, up to this point, I was like, this is good.
Right.
I really didn't mind it.
Yeah.
I liked all the Bucket family stuff. The town was cool. I was in.
Yeah.
And then, we get to the factory.
Well, right. Yeah. So we finally meet the famed chocolatier,
and then
he's
we get
kind
to
of a
this.
freak.
Yeah.
Like he is
Kind of.
He's a lunatic. He's insane.
But
he's also like, you kind of get later that it's like he's just a traumatized, like socially awkward kid, but like he's also insane. Like,
insane.
Yes.
It was kind of that point where I was like, in my notes, I was like, should I be making fun of him? Like, is this like a genuine like trauma thing? Or is he just like actually kind of a weirdo? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know the balance
Now,
to kind of go in on this
I will
guy.
say, with Johnny Depp in this movie,
Yeah.
I don't like it at all.
No.
Yeah.
you
so
don't like
scared.
him in the role?
The voice?
No.
I'm so scared.
He was, to be honest, he was the giant thing of this movie that made me dislike it.
Yeah.
I have a hot take.
Do you love him?
I love him.
Really?
I think it's one of the best roles. Like
Really?
he he disappears in the role. I feel like though.
Well, yeah,
Like,
you
although
don't.
does.
The voice, the
voice-
I just hate what he's doing.
Like I was like listening to I was imagining his pirate's voice. I was like, this is crazy. It's
I was
so
doing that too. Yeah.
different.
Yeah,
It's
that is
insane.
true.
And he is like really scary. But I think for the movie, like if it was like Adam Sandler, it would have worked. Like Tim Burton.
Well, yeah,
you know what I mean?
No.
But
That's
like
true.
it is terrifying. But I kind of love it in a way because it matches the movie for me, like the tone of it, because it's so scary.
Right.
I'm like, he is scary, and it like fits.
Yeah. I
was
get
not
it.
like,
That's fair.
I think you're right. He definitely gets credit because
Right.
it's almost like they're like, hey, we're gonna get Johnny Depp. He's gonna do his thing, and he did fully lean into it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just what he leaned into. It's just
Yeah. No,
like
I agree.
it almost feels like. Sorry, not to cut
No,
you
no,
off.
you're
It's
good,
just-
you're
I said, well, like you brought up two names, and I was like, it's very interesting you brought that up because it feels like it's trying to be a Jim Carrey thing,
Sure.
but he fundamentally just got it wrong.
Mm.
And there also is a weird, like, it feels like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
This kind of very
It does a
kiddish,
little bit.
uncomfortable,
It does a little
like
bit. Yeah.
young kid energy.
Yeah.
And then with the kind of CG look to his face, even then, like, you're right. I get they're purposely trying to make it a little scary.
Yeah.
I just think whatever he leaned into for me was just such a backfire.
Right.
I was like, this is ruining the movie. Like,
Yeah.
if you got any other actor, it'd be a completely different film.
Yeah.
A
Right,
complete
it would
same
be.
script.
Dwayne
It'd be
Johnson.
so different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think it's when you watch it and you know that Michael Jackson pitched himself,
You can
you're
see
like,
it.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you can totally see Michael
Definitely.
Jackson in the worst way.
No, yeah, no, absolutely.
Well, for
Right.
me, in the worst way.
Yeah.
But
No, I get both sides. It just wasn't particularly.
I was like,
to
no
my-
one likes him in the role. Like I was reading, like when it was released,
Yeah.
this movie, everyone was like, he ruined the movie.
Yeah.
I do. I think he ruined it. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna
That's
lie.
crazy.
Okay, so he meets all the kids who are playing up their stereotypes, their their one note characters,
yeah.
whatever. And he clearly doesn't like them or the parents. He kind of freaks out about his own dad.
Yeah, he
which
has a
is-
weird like. He's trying to give the factory to a kid, but he clearly hates kids.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
hates kids.
Such a disdain for children.
So they finally enter the factory, and this is my one like that sucks because I really like the concept of Willy Wonka, but it's so Burton-y and it's so dark, and you're like, this should be bright and
Very
whimsical,
whimsical,
and it's not at all.
It's not.
It's not.
So he kind of lets the kids explore, and they're all rude and gluttonous and all crazy and everything.
Especially my boy Augustus.
Yo, we're gonna get there.
Drinking that river.
So someone notices the Oompa Loompas working and asks about them, which is followed by the story of how Wonka went into their homeland to search for new exotic flavors for his chocolate and instead found them.
And enslaved
So-
them.
Exactly. They
Yes.
worshipped the cocoa bean, and he offered to give them unlimited cocoa if they worked at his factory. So basically, for free.
For free.
They're slaves.
Yes.
It's
I want to
insane.
point out,
and they
there
do
were
not touch on
there
this
were
ever again.
spies in his factory, so he fired everyone and then enslaved a native
he is
land.
an
He is
absolute loony bin. Like, he is
Monster.
a crazy.
Loony bin.
Yeah, he is insane.
You put this man in a cage.
So Augustus Gloop, Matthew Pelton,
Matthew Chase Pelton.
falls into the chocolate river, does the reverse worm backstage,
Destroys the stage.
destroys the
Yeah.
stage. He's sucked up into a tube, and the Oompa Loompas appear and sing the most insane. Dude, can we just talk about this very briefly? Because their songs are ridiculous.
Dude,
Yeah,
they're
they are.
insane.
They're like just next level. It's not like the Oompa Loompa.
No.
They're like full like techno, crazy.
There's like a rock song at one point.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It's
Now-
so Danny Elfman.
It's
crazy.
very
Yeah,
Danny
yeah,
Elfman. I did a little bit of research of my own into the music
Okay.
because I was fascinated by the
Yeah,
music.
yeah.
I know we don't have a ton of time, so I'll try to make this quick.
Yeah.
But I learned that all the music comes from the book. These are all lyrics that were written in the book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but because they're written, obviously there's no melody or something. So
Right.
what they did was they just read it, and then Danny Elfman made music around the lyrics written by Roald Dahl.
Oh,
So that's why they're so wacky and out there.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's never meant to be an actual song. It was just
Wow.
words on a page.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so they worked around it.
Dang. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That actually makes me kind of respect it a little more.
Yeah.
I give it credit,
Yeah.
but I do think the original
Oh yeah. No, I
just did it far better.
Yeah. It's-
Wah, wah.
okay, so the remaining children in Wonka board a boat with an army of Oompa Loompas rowing, which is a crazy visual.
Yeah, it is.
This whole movie is a crazy visual.
It is.
And we get to see Burton's take on Wonka's childhood. So he had braces growing up, and his dad. They do this whole.
That's
backstory.
Christopher Lee.
His dad is Christopher Lee, and he's a well-regarded dentist.
Sauron himself.
Yeah, literally.
Name Wilbur.
Yeah, his name is Wilbur.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we work at the Wilbur.
You guys work, that's crazy.
That's great. I know. When I was reading up on this, I was like, Wilbur Wonka. Okay. So he went trick-or-treating, and it is established that, Wonka wasn't allowed to have candy at all, and definitely not chocolate. So he basically,
big no-no.
his trauma basically flipped him, and he was just like, all right, let's do it. And, I realized kind of after the scene that this is just the story of an abused child who's,
Who had a big face cage for some reason.
yeah.
Right.
He's fixated on the thing that he was predominantly restricted from having. So that's kind of his like driving force, which I think is interesting, but it's just not to my liking in this story. I was just like, eh.
Seems to be a lot of this movie.
Yeah.
It's
So
the
they come back to the
darkest thing
boat
ever.
and they go on a ride down the Chocolate River to get deeper into the factory where they see whipped cream being made, which is cows being whipped, which is insane.
Psychopath.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah. Put this man in a cage.
At one
Prison.
point, they pass something and Wonka's like, no, actually don't look at that.
Yeah, don't
it's
look
like
at that.
sheep's
It
like
looks
getting
like-
shaved.
Yeah, it's
and they're like,
weird.
What?
I was like,
Yeah.
So they arrive at more of Wonka's inventions, such as the everlasting gobstopper, hair toffee, and the 3-course dinner gum. So this is where Violet chews the gum, she blows up into a blueberry, Oompa Loompas come out and sing, and they roll her off with the mom. So they literally
Wah,
they
wah,
kind of
yeah,
roll
bye,
her.
yeah.
Yep.
They also
And the mom
roll her
helps out.
face down.
Oh yeah, just
And
I was
so her
thinking
head
about
keeps
the
hitting the
logistics
ground.
of this,
Yeah.
and I was like, she is gonna have some serious like blunt force trauma.
Yeah, I was like,
her
roll her
head
the
is
other
gonna
way.
get
Put her on the
destroyed.
side and
Yeah.
roll
Oh,
like
yeah, the
that.
side would be better. You're
Yeah,
right.
I'm like, what are you doing?
So then we get another Wonka flashback of him like falling in love with chocolate, just like devouring it. Just literally just the lust is
Which
crazy.
is just me now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's me. I still got that Reese's shirt.
So we get into the nut room, and this is where Veruca Salt has her thing of like, Daddy, I want the squirrel. And he's like, no. Like, the Wonka's like, you can't have it. And she goes down, she messes with the squirrel, and all the squirrels like gang up on her and toss her down.
Remember the one scene
a
I said
pit.
traumatized me?
Yeah.
This one.
This is mine too.
Let's
yeah.
go.
Yeah, this is mine. Yeah.
Because they all attack her and they pin her
It's so-
down.
They look
Yeah.
so real. The
They look-
squirrels.
yeah, it's
so
freaky.
scary.
I was
Yeah.
not a fan.
It's
Yeah.
insane.
This, as a kid, this kept me up at night.
So this
be
is kind of
respectful.
where she gets plucked off.
Yeah,
Right.
she gets
She's
out.
gone, the dad's gone.
They were going quick.
Yeah, they do. They pick
they're
up the pace.
flying.
Right.
So the remaining 2 kids and their +1s are taken on an elevator that goes in any direction, and they end up in the television room after Mike TV complains about how everything in the factory is pointless and how he wants to go somewhere he wants.
Yeah.
And in the middle of this scene, we get another Wonka flashback of him running away, coming back home, and his house is like just completely
It's completely
gone.
gone. He's like, I won't be here when you get back.
And the
he
house is
meant
just
it literally.
Yeah. I
What
love
is
how it's
that?
just not there.
That part, like, I had to stop and be like, what? Like,
I'll be
it was
honest,
never...
that was like the only one joke I was like, all right, that was kind of good.
Yeah, I was like, what?
I kind of like that.
Insane. Okay, so there's a demonstration of how, Wonka's preparing to share chocolate with the world through TV, and Mike, then this is how he gets picked off, is he's like, but we can use this for teleportation. Like, you're being an idiot. Why are you using this just for chocolate? So he goes in, And then Oompa Loompas sing another song.
A
where
crazy
they're like
song.
The Beatles, and they have like a Psycho rendition with them.
It's
and
so strange.
That was the Psycho thing was
insane.
crazy.
Oh, it's foreshadowing.
Yeah,
they knew.
So he comes out, they pluck him out, he's super small, and they bring him to like the stretching room. I think.
Yeah, they stretch him out and make him like Flat Stanley.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, he comes out and he's like 15 feet tall. He's super flat.
Flat mic.
Flat mic TV.
Flat TV.
So
Flat screen
Wonka
TV.
goes to continue the tour before realizing Charlie's won. He's the winner.
Yes.
He takes him and Grandpa Joe up and out on the elevator, which launches them out of the factory and turns into a flying elevator.
Sure.
As we see all the kids in
Why
their
not?
new stages of being exiting the factory
Alive.
factory's gates. Which
Yeah.
they're all alive, but they're
Now,
all
also,
freaks.
Very interesting to point out, the one scene that in the original I think is very important is Charlie drinking the soda and going up with Grandpa Joe.
yeah.
He makes a mistake. But in this one, he's like he's just flawless.
Oh yeah.
It kind of makes it way less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's almost
Yeah.
like a cartoon. He's too perfect a little
Right.
bit.
Because he could have had a flaw because the other kids are so horrible.
Yeah.
And then he could have had like one
That's-
little flaw.
That's what made the original for me so great was
Right.
like, Charlie still messed. Like, he's not perfect.
Yeah.
But, you know, he still earned it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
He's the good
It
doctor,
is
so-
what it is, I guess. So they crash land in the Buckets household, and Wonka informs the family that Charlie has won the factory. This is his big prize. But he has to leave his family in order to inherit the riches, which Charlie ends up declining because his family means the world to him.
Yeah.
And as the months pass,
Good boy.
Charlie's dad gets new jobs. Yeah, his dad gets a new job. Their lives start to improve, and Wonka's sales go down because he isn't putting his heart into his work anymore.
Wah, wah.
Exactly. And then Wonka goes to Charlie for advice, and Charlie recommends him to go see his father, which they both go do together.
Which strange.
Very strange because they just immediately like reunite.
And the house
and
is
are
there.
like- yeah, the house is there. They reunite. Charlie sees that his dad was actually tracking the success of his son,
Which is cute.
sweet.
Yeah, I didn't
it was
mind that. Yeah.
Wonka then allows the Buckets to move into the factory together, giving the Buckets riches. So he gives the Buckets riches,
Tough sentence.
and Wonka gets a family.
yes, in
And
return.
all is well in the world, and that is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So final thoughts, Angelo, as our special guest, do you want to start?
Yeah, it's just wild watching this like deeply dark, scary movie.
Yeah.
as an adult now, you know, because
It's like made for kids.
yeah, like this and like Cat in the Hat. I can't believe I watched these as a kid.
Well, Cat in the
probably-
Hat especially.
Yeah, like they like this is dark, but I think I like the new one. Like we didn't talk about it, but I like the new one. I think better. Like it's kind of
I
fun
agree.
and like whimsical, and
Yeah.
it's like lighthearted. And
Yeah.
I like Wonka. I'm not scared of.
Yeah. I'm not
Yeah.
scared of Timothy Chalamet after that.
I say, I like Wonka too, I'll be
Me
honest.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
like it a
agree.
lot.
It's fun. Pelton?
Okay, well, I think genuinely there's a very good movie in here somewhere.
Mhm.
I think the beginning's pretty good. It's very Burton-esque, but not in like a overly Burton way. I was like, I'm in. And then I almost don't blame Johnny Depp because he did try something. I just don't think it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And then the factory's a little off. So once you get to the factory and Johnny Depp, the movie just really quickly takes a downward trajectory and never quite recovers.
Right.
So he kind of ruined it.
Yeah.
I think he kind of ruined it.
Yeah.
Like, I do think if there's a different actor, you could take the same script,
Right.
different actor, potentially different director, maybe. I'm not even sure if that's true.
Mm-hmm.
But this could have been really something unique
Mhm.
and different from the original. And while it is different and unique, it's just not in a great way.
No, yeah.
I just really don't like what he did. It was very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The whole look, I just think it was just a bad idea all around.
Yeah. That's fair. Here's the thing. It's this and Peter Pan are like the two things where I really, really, really like the concept of the character and the lore.
Sure.
And like the idea of it. Anytime I think about those two like characters, I'm like, it gets me so excited. Like these,
yeah,
these
it's a
guys are
great
so cool.
concept in itself.
Something about this falls short.
Yeah.
And again, I think that Burton, I like the stuff outside the factory. I thought
Yeah.
that all his stylistic choices were really cool. All
It
the
is.
actors were
Yeah.
great. Again, once you meet Depp, it's kind of like a eh. And then especially if I'd say this movie would be good if they tacked on 20 minutes and they made the factory like way more whimsical and fun.
Yeah, just turn up the brightness.
Yeah,
a little
turn up
bit.
the brightness.
On his face.
On his face. Yeah, exactly. Everything. Yeah. So one final thought on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I can't believe this got greenlit. Heck yeah, I know we didn't talk to you about that before. So
I heard it. I'm making my
good
episode.
for
I
you.
heard
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Thank you all for listening. It's been such a fun episode. There is so much more we could say about this movie.
Yeah, we could go on
and
for hours
the
about this thing,
Wonkaverse in
but-
general.
yeah.
So next week is our spring break. Woo! So no episode next week. The following week, we're not sure what movie we're going to cover.
We'll figure it out.
So stay tuned. And yes, we will talk to you then. Bye. Bye.